Past the creaky metal gates, through the fog-enveloped graveyard, you find yourself on the rickety old porch of a long-forgotten home. Beyond the threshold sits a man, obsessed, a tortured soul, cursed to discover all about the Southern California haunt community and beyond. You have now entered the domain of the CreepCast with Rick Creeper. You're listening to the CreepCast.
Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the CreepCast. Once again, I'm your host, Rick Creeper 11. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited about this dude who's on the podcast today. Even if you're remotely into the haunt scene, particularly here in SoCal, you already know this guy's work. Whether he's giving us first look at maze construction, prediction videos, or breaking down the latest haunt events. I like to call him the man with the golden voice over at the Hauntline. We're talking about Jonathan from the Hauntline. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, brother. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much, man.
I think, well, first of all, because I'm looking at you smile right now.
Oh my.
You need to get a sponsorship from like Colgate or like Crest, like whitening strips. You just got this smile, bro. You light up a room, dude. You're such a nice guy, dude.
Thanks, man. My parents paid a lot for the smile.
So, there you go, dude. Handsome devil over here. So what's going on, dude? I've just been wanting to get you on for a while, dude. So we're finally doing this. So
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I love the podcast.
Appreciate
I love the guests
dude.
you have on. I'll take any opportunity to talk.
Oh, dude, I've only been around since 2019, and I got 30 some episodes, dude. Yeah, so I took 2 years off, and also, I rather focus on quality instead of quantity.
I'm the same way, brother. I am exactly the same way.
But you see, your videos, your photos, I mean, everything you're editing, it's so crisp.
Thanks, man.
And even like your your on-camera presence, like you definitely have that persona, and that's what caught my eye when I first started watching your videos. So, that being said, how did it all start for you? Like with the haunts and like the theme parks, like were you just a guest, like were you a kid? Or for me, I didn't hit up my first haunt until I was like 15, 16.
Sure.
How did it start for you?
I mean, it all started, funny enough, at Universal Studios Hollywood. Because they had, when The Mummy came out, The Mummy Returns. Okay. They had like their all-year maze that they had open there, right? I think it was called The Mummy Returns Chamber of Doom. Okay. And so that was like my gateway into the haunt world, because like it was the first time that I had ever really gone into a haunted attraction like that, like a haunted house, a haunted maze. And I loved it.
How old were you?
God, it must have been.
That was 2 years ago.
No. God, I wish, Rick. I think I must have been like 10, 9 or 10, somewhere around there.
Okay. I remember they used to have in the queue line, they had like scare actors, like mummies.
Yes.
Dude, they were creepy.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
Like, even like, Horror Nights is notoriously known for like really good prosthetics.
Yes.
Like costuming. So like they were scaring people. I was like, they don't do that anymore. I was telling someone about that, and they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, back in the day, that's what they had. So
they used to like really lean into the scares.
Right.
Even like at the end of the Mummy ride, right? Like
they got you on the way out because your guard's down. I remember that.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they had I think it was House of Horrors first, or was it Van Helsing? It was a walkthrough.
Yeah,
when we first got into the park.
It was the Mummy, and then it was Van Helsing, and then it was House of Horrors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was like mummies in the queue line for the actual ride. Yeah. I never got to experience that walkthrough.
Oh, dude, it was pretty fun. It was pretty cool. They did a good job of like capturing the vibe of the Mummy movies. Okay. And of course, like watching it in theaters, I've always been a big fan of like the 99 Mummy movie.
Okay.
So I thought they did a great job of like capturing the vibe of that.
I like the movie because the hero's name's Rick. So
hey, yeah, man.
So that's how I was like, it's a good movie, dude. So long story short, my buddy was notoriously known for like, we used to work together back in the day, and the dude like, his diet consisted of like AM, PM energy drinks and like the taquitos, like to-go food, like if you did construction. Sure. Would stay up all night gambling online or gaming, and he would come in just like tore back. And we used to work for a distributor that did hard drives, and he'd walk into the warehouse, and we saw him, and he would just like look haggard, just walking back and forth, and we go, Emotep. Emotep. And you have to know the movie to get that reference. Remember, they're all in a trance walking.
Yeah, man.
He would get so pissed. So we would tell him that all the time, dude. Of course, there's Frumpkin, one of our cats. She wants to see what's going on.
Hi, Frumpkin.
Hey, Frumpkin. Hey,
come on
sweetie.
in.
You come out. She's like, no, I'm good.
Oh, she's so cute.
She's a little shite.
So yeah, it was Universal Studios. That's where it all started. And then my first real haunt event, like the first event that I actually went to, was a shipwreck at the Queen Mary.
Wow, dude. That was, let me put it this way. Dark Harbor had their 10th anniversary in 2019 when I was there.
Yeah.
So you're talking shipwreck. We're talking what, early 2000s? 2000s?
Yeah.
I didn't even attend shipwreck. I attended Dark Harbor. Yeah.
Sure.
Old school, dude. Wow.
Yeah, man. And this is like back when they had like a 3D maze in the Spruce Goose Dome.
Wow, dude.
So like they gave you 3D glasses and they
for you to refer to the Spruce Goose Dome. I thought I was old, dude. Wow. Yikes. Dude, who's older here, me or you?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out, man.
We'll sign out soon. Let me see your ID, dude. Wow. That's pretty old school. Remember they had, because they had mazes in there.
They did.
They had a few. I think some of the early like circus themed mazes were in the dome.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was circus themed.
Okay.
So yeah, that was like my first real introduction to haunt events, and of course, like I was terrified because I was like, in middle school.
Dude, you're young.
I mean, listen, not that young, brother. But I was in middle school and we were terrified. But at the end of the day, like I had so much fun, and like that is what like really triggered it for me. Where I was like, oh, I really like getting scared.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I really like.
So your first experience was over at Universal, and then eventually ended up at I was about to say Dark Harbor, Shipwreck.
Shipwreck. Yeah.
I don't even know who the production company was that did Shipwreck.
I think it was called Shipwreck Productions. I
was
think,
it?
Yeah, they were like their own independent thing before it all became. Oh God, I'm blanking on the name. Epic Entertainment.
Epic.
Yeah.
So when I worked at Queen Mary in 2019, there was dudes there, vets, that were at Shipwreck. I mean, they're like, yeah, I remember this and that. I'm like, I think it's time for you to retire. Isaac Cruz, if you're listening, it's time. My buddy Isaac Cruz, he's been at it for 30 years.
Dang! Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So his haunt name is HR. There's a reason why. We're not going to get into that.
Okay. HR too far.
Yeah. Long story short, and I shared the story before. So we're back in. We worked Feast together in 2019.
Nice.
And I was the chef.
Sure.
And then I think Isaac was like one of the mechanics or something. And we were on a break, and he's like, "Hey chef, do you want to go work the queue line?" I'm, well, can we? He's like, "We sure can." And he had a look on his face. I'm like, this guy's bullshitting. So we're going through the crowd, we're roasting people. And then he saw this lady. She had like this pleather red jacket on with her collar up. And I'm looking at her, and he looks at me and smiles, and he just roasted her for like 20 minutes. And then he finally said, "Hey lady, Michael Jackson called from beyond the grave. He wants his jacket back."
Oh no.
And then I chimed in, I'm like, "Yeah, why don't you beat it?" And then the whole crowd was like, "Oh, boo, boo." Something like that. We were just messing with people. He does like stand-up comedy now. And then
oh, okay, that checks out.
He worked Knott's a couple years. And I used to make fun of him. I'm like, damn, dude, he was sitting there just kind of tired. I'm like, some of these props are looking lifelike. I'll just roast him. And I think he ended up back at Queen Mary. He did. He was at Queen Mary in 2024 because he grabbed me one of the mazes. And then I think he ended up at the Hayride. But yeah, he's one of those guys I know that was at Shipwreck back in the day. So
that's wild, man. Well, I would love to pick his brain one day because I'm sure he's got some crazy stories about Shipwreck. Because it did feel like it was the Wild West, man. Like,
well, I mean, back in the day too. Dude.
Yeah, dude.
Knott's was wild when I went.
Sure.
Monsters would grab you with their crappy Spencer's gift shop mask, and just like they'd grab on you and grab you in the ankles, by your ankles in the mazes.
Sure.
They did whatever they wanted because it wasn't. There was no social media. There wasn't.
Right.
Not everyone had a camera, and so it was different back then.
I mean, Shipwreck was the first time that I ever interacted with like a chainsaw, right?
Yeah.
Like, that I ever saw a performer with a chainsaw and like doing the sparks on the ground and everything, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, they definitely it was a different vibe when I worked there. It was a big party. Being on that ship was spooky.
Oh, I bet, man. Yeah. I bet. Did you ever see anything? Did you ever feel anything? Yeah.
Long story short, our section of the ship was apparently haunted by a female ghost.
Nice.
And so they said they had like a little shrine by like, I think it was an entryway that only like we saw was cast and people left out things.
Okay.
I'm like, what's this for? They're like, oh, it's for Hollywood. I'm like, who's Hollywood? And prior to Feast, it used to be Soulmates.
Oh,
which is
sure.
Graceful Gale.
Yeah.
So apparently that ghost is influence for that character.
That makes sense.
So she apparently haunted that part of the ship. That's why they had soulmates in there for like 2 seasons, and then went to Feast, and then I may not heard that Feast is going away this year.
I think I saw that, man. I think it's been leading up to that, which is interesting.
So I was like, okay. I was like, but there was a couple things, couple little humming noises in my ear, and like, you know, touchy feely here and there.
Ooh,
like,
okay.
A slight grab on my backpack, and like I felt like I was being like trying to push down the stairs, and finally I was like, okay, this is your home. I'm just visiting. So after that, it left me alone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
When they opened up, there was a door that they opened up in the engine room, because they extended Feast further and further, like into the engine room, then in one of those secret bars, but it was just open. There was cast members down there, like they're like, hey, I'm hearing noises, I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that, people getting hurt, people getting sick. So there was something spooky down like in the engine room, like beyond Feast. Now Feast ended in my boo box area. Okay. And then I believe like our break.
Interesting.
That was last season or the season before when I think I went. No, I went in 24, but it was fun. It was spooky, and the ship was nice to be on.
The ship itself is so scary, man. Like there's just something. We did a paranormal investigation. We did one of the Grey Ghost projects.
No, thank you.
Oh, dude, it was so cool though. It was cool, but it was like there was a lot of times where you're sitting there like, ooh.
So I'm assuming you're a SoCal native, based on the theme parks. And how old were you started attending these things?
Yeah, I think I was like I must have been like 8 or 9 at Universal. Okay. And then I must have been like 10 or 11 at the absolute oldest going to Shipwreck. Mm-hmm. And then it was like maybe I was like 15, 16, because in high school I started going to Fright Fest a lot. Okay. We would go out of our way to go out to Six Flags because, you know, the coasters and everything.
I still haven't been to the Fright Fest.
You've never been to Fright Fest?
Oh, dude, the thing is, if I go, like, I want to crash out there.
Oh, sure. It is a hell of a drive, dude.
I would have to, like, my buddy, Tim Fowler from the Farm Haunt, he lives right there in Passaic. To crash at his house, or to get a hotel.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Let me tell you, man, as someone who lives in SoCal, like, the drive to and from Six Flags is so draining.
Yeah,
man.
that's why I'm just like... I mean, like, even like Horror Nights, it's a good 45 minutes.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Last time we went, Krista crashed. My girlfriend Krista, she crashed out as soon as we got in the car like a baby, and I'm like driving on the the 5 freeway,
just fighting for your life.
Oh, dude, like exhausted, Yeah. And then we wake up. She wakes up right where the 5 where you can see the big K from Knott's, and she's like, "We're home already." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, because you've been sleeping for 45 minutes. I've been slapping myself behind the wheel." She's like, "Oh."
Hey, man, you made the sacrifice.
Exactly, dude. I shouldn't complain, dude. I mean, just poking fun of her. What are some of your fondest memories? Just your early years experiencing some of these haunted attractions. I mean, you went to Horror Nights. How old were you when you hit up Knott's? And what were some of your fondest memories?
So I didn't hit up Horror Nights or Knott's until I was... So Horror Nights for the first time, I must have been 17. Okay. Because it was my senior year of high school, 2009. Okay. That was like my first real time going to Horror Nights ever. And that was fun. I think you'll identify with this because I think I know a little bit about your faith, Rick. But I went with my youth group.
Dude, what's with people and Rick West went to Knott's his first time with a church group, and I'm like, what's going on with that, dude?
Well, we got a phone call from our youth pastor, and he was like, guys, be very careful out there. Remember that the eyes are the windows to the soul. So I don't recommend you going. And we were like, cool, thanks, dude. Hung up the phone and drove out anyways.
Okay. So random.
So we were rebels, dude.
So random. That's so random, dude. Wow.
And so, it was 2009. So I must have been 17 when I hit up Horror Nights for the first time. Loved it. Was really impressed by it. And then it wasn't until 2011 that I went to Not Scary Farm for the first time ever, dude.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I never went when I was a kid. Like, I never went when I was, like, super young. I waited a long time just because, like, I don't know, dude. I missed out. Honestly, I missed out.
I mean, I got into it at a late age as well. I mean, it's like 15, 16. I went a couple of years.
Sure.
But what's funny, I discovered Horror Nights in 1997 because they took a break. They started about 92, 93, and they took a couple of years off. And they came back in 97, and I was 21.
Sure.
It was like Rob Zombie, The Undertaker, like Clyde Barker.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's a it's a stack right there. And I went off and on until I was about 22, 23. I think I took some time off, and then I started going back to Knott's, like 2006-ish. Sure. Took some time off, and then I discovered the Hayride like in 2011.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Before it was taken over by
13th Floor.
Yeah, it was 1031 Productions.
Yeah.
And then originally it was in Gillette Ranch in Calabasas. Then they moved it down to Griffith Park.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
And then they had their sister haunt in New York.
Oh.
So it was one owner, and then they had the parks. They had the two different events across the nation, but every year was a different theme. Yeah, it was low budget. It was different, but dude, like you felt like you were out in the woods. It was creepy.
Yeah.
Sometimes they let you get off the hayride, go some mazes, like corn mazes, or like I loved it. And it was cheap. It was efficient. Parking was cool. It wasn't super crowded how it was.
Sure.
I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of how it got relocated.
Okay. Yeah, it's different. It's a different.
It's different, and the last year I enjoyed, and nothing against 13th Floor, was when they first did Midnight Falls.
Yeah, when they did the inaugural year of it.
Yeah,
that was cool because we can still take the old zoo trail. Yeah,
and then for some reason they had to move across the way, and the logistics of parking. It's a dust bowl, and it's just, But I still support it.
Sure.
But yeah, I was a late bloomer too. I mean, I didn't start working haunt until I was 42.
Oh, that's right, man. I remember about your solo episode that I listened to that, which is fascinating, dude. That like you got so you are one of those people, man, that like I see you out in the street and it feels like you've been doing this your whole life.
Well, thanks, dude. My knees, thank you. My knees and my lower back and my pride when I see gray hairs in my chest. I appreciate it, dude.
So I mean that's a testament to your passion, to your dedication as a performer. So that's really cool, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, I was a late bloomer too. Okay. So like 2011 was my first year at Scary Farm, and then like the second year that I went was the 40th year.
Oh damn!
And that year, like I had already fallen in love with it in 2011 because of like the theatricality of it.
Okay.
The maze lineup that year was really good, but then when I came back the next year, I was like, yo, this is immersive as hell because that's the year that they really focused in on Sarah Marshall. They brought the 7 Deadly Sins. They started building all these stories. We had Trick or Treat that year.
Oh, dude, to this day, my favorite maze. Dude.
Oh, dude.
My favorite
it's so
maze.
Good, bro. It's so good. And then, the years following, we had like Voodoo. We had, of course, Paranormal Inc. and stuff like that. I mean, it opened up a whole new world to me where I was like, yo, this is where it's at. This is where it's at.
Back in the day, and I love working at Knott. Back in the day, some of the mazes were kind of, lack of better words, janky.
Sure.
A lot of horrible masks with no eye black. Sure. And just like monsters kind of just standing there swinging back. And now that you got people like parkouring and doing backflips and they get into I can't do all that stuff. But the mazes weren't the greatest, but there were some classics. Back in the day. But like around 2000, between 8 until 11, that's when like it just like I don't know, they got revamped or they had different hands involved, and you start seeing like this evolution of the mazes at Knott's and at Horror Nights too. Like Horror Nights is ridiculous. Just
man.
The production quality, but Knott's just has the mystique, and also the fact that without revealing too many trade secrets, there's a little more, I guess, leeway with character development.
Right. Yeah. Because they're all original.
Yeah.
Like they have their own stories to tell, which is what I love so much about Horror Nights Orlando is that they combine the original storytelling with like the IPs that we have every year.
Okay.
But they build characters out there like they do at Knott's that are like they transcend space and time, because they're just around all the time. Like Sarah Marshall is always going to be an icon.
Always involved. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Even with us, like they let us bend our character development a bit. Like, hey, I got this idea. And they're like, okay, change this, that, and the other. Cool. Like what I did last year. I was just like, I had no idea what I was doing, but I just threw something together. I'm like, what do you think of this? They're like, we love it. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, I'm wearing I've never done a full facial prosthetic for a whole season. I've never worn a wig. I've never been a clown. The zone was huge.
Sure.
And so I'm like, whose idea was to stack all these factors against me? I'm like, in like week 5, I'm like, wow, I did it. I was like, okay. In week 6, I'm like, I'm just gonna put it in cruise control. I'm like, my knees hurt. I'm tired. I'm like, I'm tired of like hot water. And what I mean by hot water, it's just the tap. It's like the fountain water off the soda dispensers.
Yeah.
I'm tired of boysenberry punch and Powerade and eating from the. I'm like, I'm good. Like I was content. Like I was like, wow, because I was challenging. I left Goring and I went. For those who know, I used to work in Goring 20s for 3 seasons, and I'm not gonna lie, like that character was locked in. Like I could have wrote that for 20 years if I wanted
man.
to.
Benny became an icon out there for sure, dude. He was one of those where I'm like, it really embodied the spirit of Roaring Twenties in so many ways.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude.
It was time to move on.
Yeah, for sure. But that's the fun thing that you guys get to play with at Not Scary Farm, is that you guys get to build your own characters or like become part of the lore of the event. Yeah. Where it isn't like, and this is no knock on Horror Nights Hollywood, but like they have it different out there. Out there, you know, you do have a name maybe, but nobody knows your name really. You're just like clown number 6 or your chainsaw clown or your crowbar clown. Whereas at Knott's, there's more opportunity for people to develop these characters and these stories and really like become part of the event in a very unique way, which is really cool.
Though it's hard, kind of like your background is 3 paragraphs long, maybe a couple pages. It's hard to project that onto the guests. So you got to find out what works.
Right.
So I just, constantly recycle verbiage with this, that, and the other insults, and then you build on that. So like by year 2, I was like, okay, dude, this works. Year 3, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go with the flow. It's like, it was fun. I just felt like I wanted to do something different. I was like, I've admitted like I'm gonna be done soon, so why not experience other zones?
Sure, man. Yeah, and you fit in Carnival so well, brother.
I was like, what am I doing here? I was like, I'm just gonna keep moving. I was like, I'm just gonna keep moving, and they're like, hey, slow down. I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. I was like, I just keep moving and scaring. So I found my hot spots, but then like also like you get that adrenaline dump, and I got in that zone, and also I was like, no, I got to prove I could do this, and then my pride. But I'm like, okay, let's slow down because I dealt with the Johnny Rockets like 5 times already. Sure. Okay, let me hang out over here by Mesmer a little bit. Oh, dude, I was murdering people by Mesmer because it's dark right there, and it's like it's kind of like a circle.
People just crowd there,
and they don't pay attention. Right. And I was coming up with that stupid gas can, just blown with that, and because it's a horn.
Yeah, dude.
People don't realize the gas can. They're like, "Why does he have a gas can?" I'm like, "Oh, you're asking for it. Can I get some gas?" Well, sure. It's like, the spigot of the gas can was the car horn,
which is so cool, man.
And then the management's like, "We love it." And then I had the bottom hollowed out so I could like replace the batteries.
Yeah.
And so like on breaks, I was like opening it up and swapping out DeWalt batteries and charging them, and I'm changing. I'm like, do I go out with the polka dot underwear, or do I take the gas can, or do I go out with the candy cane bat? Do I use just my pocket comb? I'm like, what do I do? I'm like, so like the stupid gag was I would stand by there's these gas pumps by Mesmer.
Yeah.
Over by the restrooms in Boardwalk.
Lighting your cigarette.
Trying to light my cigarette, and people are like, that guy's crazy. I'm like, anybody got a cigarette? Anyone got a lighter?
So good, dude. So
I'm like, hey, I broke down on Beast La Palma. Give me some gas. Just stupid stuff like that.
Oh man.
The funniest thing was they let us go into opening night. Was of course media. They had like a little media area by Johnny Rockets. They're like, hey, we're letting 2 clowns at a time. You let us go in there. There was a handful of people that I knew in there, like Mondo from Five Fires. I roasted him. I feel bad because I don't think he knew it was me. Because we developed a friendship through Goring. Sure. And I roasted him in front of everyone, like on camera. I roasted Rick West. He's all, hey, Rick. Oh, you know who it is, dude. My girlfriend saw me and all that. But there were some other people from like, where's he work at? I'm not going to say his name yet. He's a monster from, he worked Horror Nights, and also he worked at Reign of Terror. And I was just, he was bald, and I was like making fun of him. This dude had this horrible, like, it's really bad haircut. I'm like, man, I thought I had I think I said shitty by accident. I'm like, man, I thought I had a shitty wig on, and I pointed at his hair, just roasting everyone. And I was like, man, as a clown, I was like, this is fun, dude. Anyways, we're getting off topic, but what is it about Halloween and the haunts that made you such a fan? Were you always like a little spooky kid, was into like Halloween trick-or-treating, decorating, and eventually like you got into the haunts because of that first time experience? Like, what led up to that?
Sure. I mean, growing up, I didn't really have a lot of Halloween in my life, to be honest with you. Like, I grew up in a very religious household, so it wasn't like we never really celebrated it. You know what I mean? However, my sister would always like sneak horror movies into the house, or like I'd go over to a friend's house and like watch horror movies. There was always something about like the scary horror Halloween element that always like intrigued me. I think because it was so like taboo. Yeah,
I was about to say
so
that.
I was like, let me see what this is about.
What's this movie called? Fright Night.
Exactly. Who's Freddy Krueger? Oh, what does he do? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, like,
I get it. Speaking of Freddy Krueger, the campier he got, the more I loved it.
Yeah.
I will not lie. The way he acted, the things he said, it was like a hybrid of what the Benny was.
That makes sense.
Like Don Rickles and like Rodney Dangerfield and like campy one-liners from like, Freddy and other stuff. I just like, it was just this big, just modge podge of just like kind of backhanded compliments that were period accurate. And I was like, and that's also kind of my sense of humor. So
that makes perfect sense.
My girlfriend's like, wait a minute. Do they realize like the things you're saying and doing and going, it's just who you are, but you put it on a horrible accent? And I'm like, pretty much, yeah. It's just what I think. It's just what I'm thinking. I want to tell people,
That's amazing, dude. But yeah, so like I was always like not super attached to Halloween. However, as I grew older and as I got more exposed to horror, I started falling in love with it more. And then I think it was the theatricality of haunts that really got me. The lighting, the fog, the sound design.
It was the environment.
Absolutely. And how it all kind of came together. Because that's like, I had always wanted to be a filmmaker growing up. Like I wanted to be like Steven Spielberg, you know what I mean? Like I wanted to be a director. And what I loved about that world was like the collaborative nature of like all these people coming together to build a world. And to bring it to life. And so
you appreciate the production of it.
Absolutely.
From storyboarding to lighting to
absolutely.
To I mean, they go two in hand in hand. We know we were not going to have a haunt unless there's someone building a foundation, and we can't have haunt there's not actors. So that you go hand in hand.
Yes.
So you love the production aspect.
Absolutely, it's the collaborative nature of it all, right? Like how everything comes together. The scare zones lead you to the houses lead you to like the other experiences. The houses build on each other sometimes, or they'll tell stories, or that's why Trick or Treat was like so influential to me and was one of my favorite houses, or something like Paranormal Inc. too. Yeah. Where like they establish the world. These are the ghost hunters. They're trying to like up the production value of their show. They build a ghost pod. Oh, the ghost pod freaks out and opens a portal to hell.
That show moment was so cool.
Oh, it's so good.
The facade was so cool. The show moment, Trick or Treat, it was a beautiful maze.
Yeah, man. So that's what it was to me. It was like the collaborative nature of it, on how it all comes together. The production value is what got me. It fucking hooked me, man.
Speaking of the mazes, the houses, they let me go to Mesmer last year for 30 minutes. Oh, nice. Dude, I had a blast. Dude.
Dude.
They're like, hey, we need some clowns to go in the maze. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. They're like, I'm like, go in Mesmer? And I'm like, yeah, I'll go do it. So it was like the haunt coordinator, I believe. She's like, I could have you here or like in the polka dot room. I'm like, what's the polka dot room? Dude, it was all black lights. It was great. Dude, so I was like just lit up.
Glowing.
Sure. My 2-foot pompadour, my makeup and everything. And they had me in a hallway and I just like went into boogeyman mode, just scaring everybody. This is like, I just went back into old school monster mode. And I was like, dude, mazes are so much fun. I forgot.
Sure, man.
I didn't die this time. I almost died at room 13 2 years ago, but... Well, because I went hard for like an hour straight.
Oh.
Instead of like every other guest, I just went crazy
for everyone.
And so I think they had to revive me, and they brought me go back on streets, you old man. I'm like, okay.
That is one of my favorite things. Anytime that I see like monsters in the mazes, because I'm always like, what are you doing here? Like, what the hell?
Someone's like, weren't you on streets? I'm like, that's my brother. They're like, oh, okay. They're like, I yelled at them. It was great. Some guy tried to snatch my cigarette out of my mouth.
Oh.
I may or may not have inflicted at the back of his head when he walked past me. So
amazing.
Yeah, so that was a blast. Speaking of production, your quality of your videos and audio, and your quality of your videos and audio are like amazing. They're really good.
Thanks, man.
They're sharp. Even like your photos, everything, your on camera presentation, your editing is really good. Are you a techie person? I mean, a techie. Is that your background?
Yeah. So
I was about to say, is it a hobby or you do this for work? Because the quality is really good, dude. Like just everything, it's seamless. It flows.
Thanks, man.
Crisp, and then even your editing. So I was like, okay, he probably is really into this, or he does this for a living.
It started as a hobby for sure. Okay. Like I had always been fascinated by filmmaking or radio or like television, like just the production of anything like that. You know what I mean? So growing up, I was always really attracted to that world. I had started making short films in high school, just kind of getting used to playing around with the camera, being on screen, directing my friends, like telling little stories. editing for sure was like the big thing that I was always fascinated by.
Your editing quality is I notice it's very it's very high quality.
I appreciate it, man.
It's crisp, it's clear. I love your intros while you do your videos. Even like the cameras you use. And like you take pictures of them or a video of us. I'm like, hey, wouldn't you take that picture of me? You're like, you weren't paying attention. I'm like, would you get video of me on streets? You're like, you weren't looking. I'm like, and it's just the quality. Nothing against other people, dude, but like you could tell the difference when someone's on a cell phone, compared to like an actual rig. And then everything you've shot, filmed, recorded, it has a certain caliber.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
Yeah, and so it started out as a hobby. Then in college, I took like radio, television production classes.
Okay.
And then I started working as an audio engineer. Funny enough, I started working as an audio engineer at Knott.
Really?
So I started doing it there, running the shows and the concerts and everything.
We have a mutual friend, Dan Baranowski.
Oh yeah, Dan,
so
the man, dude.
Did Dan was he kind of like the gateway to help you out with that, or you just?
I mean, no. Dan was around. He was around for sure.
What a jackass! He didn't even help you. No, I'm just kidding. I love Dan. Dan was like episode 6 on the podcast. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, Dan's the man.
He's a cool dude.
He is a big inspiration though for me, especially like his career and the places that it's taken him, and like all the sounds. Like he's designed some of my favorite.
Dude, Trick or Treat. That was all him.
Yeah, man.
We geek out. We geek out on John Carper. For those that know who Dan Baranowski is, he's a sound designer.
Sound
worked
designer.
at Knott's forever. He does all the other haunts as well. He's a musician. He plays guitar.
Yeah.
Also, he has spooky vibes, which he does like custom guitar pedals.
Yeah.
Just all around really nice guy. Kind of a goof.
But he's so knowledgeable, man,
right.
And he's so talented. And like he even did the Hauntline theme for a while. The theme song that he used was him.
Okay.
And so so I took a lot of inspiration from him as well. And in fact, now I'm trying to maybe follow in his footsteps a little bit. So Dan, help a brother out.
I always send him like stupid reels on Instagram all the time. It's funny, dude. Yeah.
But yeah, so that has been my background. It's always like hobby, and then I have had jobs like editing. But literally, what's funny is the job that I got working for a creative marketing agency doing video editing was basically because of the Hauntline. I showed them that as like my portfolio.
Dude,
of like,
that's
here's
a
my
perfect
body
example.
of work. And they were like, "Oh yeah, perfect. Come on board with us."
I figured the way you dress, the way you look, like you worked at a dispensary or something, dude. You like worked for Weed Maps. I was like, "Where's my stuff? You're late, dude." No, I'm just kidding.
That's so funny, man. But you know what? I keep kicking myself in the head for not getting into the weed industry earlier, dude. Because it's booming.
When you told me you were here, I looked out the window of my front door. I'm like, I didn't order weed today, dude. Who's this? Who's this? Oh, it's Jonathan.
Got your edibles, man.
Hey, man, I got your gummies, man. Here you go, dude. I was kidding. I don't smoke, dude. I'm just kidding. But I had a feeling that you worked in the industry or somehow. But I mean, that hobby, it shows you're very passionate.
Thanks, man.
You take pride, the quality of your videos, everything you could take time into the production of the Hauntline. I definitely appreciate it.
Thanks, brother. I think I take too much time at times. I'm like trying to learn to like let go a little bit into
if you feel comfortable taking certain steps or like, being very rhythmic or systematic about it, and that works for you, by all means. I know I could do different equipment here. I could do different editing, and I could promote it a certain way. And I know some people pay to like get promoted. Like I don't want to do that.
Sure.
What works for me is this. It's dummy proof. It's Rick proof. A caveman can operate it. So.
but hey, yeah, literally, it's all about what everybody's capacity is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking to that, like I want to produce more. I want to make more content, but it's always hard, like finding the balance between like life and
trust me,
making content and all that. I'm sure you totally understand.
It's like,
that.
I'll get some episodes out and we'll see. It's like, I'll do the best I can.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely, man.
So, if I'm not mistaken, speaking of your YouTube channel, the Hauntline, you took the plunge back in 2020, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
What inspired you to take those steps?
I had always wanted to, I have always had like little side projects. Like for a while there, I had a channel with some friends of mine called Real Talk, where we would talk movies. And this was like,
was it spelled like REEL?
Like movie reel? Yeah,
I kind
dude.
of figured, yeah.
I'm a sucker for a punny name for sure. So like,
the Hauntline with the phone. I kind of figured, a landline. No one uses landlines anymore, dude. Unless you work, you have like a desk job.
Exactly, man. Yeah, I'm aging myself with that for sure.
That's all right, dude.
The real ones know. The real ones know.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I had a channel back then where I was doing that. But then that had stopped, and I was missing the creative element of like talking about something that people also enjoy about, and like having fan interactions. Like, so I had stumbled across a couple of channels in like 2018, 2019 that were doing like haunt reviews and stuff. And I was like, oh, there's not a ton of people doing this right now. And this is something that like I'm super passionate about, especially at that time. I had been closing in on going to like Not Scary Farm for a decade, to Horror Nights for a decade. I had like a history with haunt events already. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like coming across those other channels, they were inspiration to create your own?
Yeah, 100%. And some of them because like, you know, they would get information wrong, or they would like cover things like, you know, they would say things that aren't true or whatever. Like they would give tips that were like, no, this is not how you should go about this at all.
We went to the Eulogy Collective here in Anaheim at the Garden Walk on Friday. It was a running joke. I'm not going to say who was there, but it was a couple of us haunt monsters and the talent there. We were laughing because there was someone that went to Eulogy and did like, hey, come with me, you know, and they do like one of these videos they're walking through. They totally butchered the name of Eulogy. Like they did not pronounce it. Oh, man. But they said it like 10 times in the video.
Oh, brother.
And so I'm like, hey, is this, and I kept saying that to Chewy, who pretty much is the owner and operator. I'm like, hey, is this, and all night we kept saying that to Chewy. He's like, you guys are dicks.
Amazing, dude.
Right.
So yeah, I was missing it. And like, you know, 2020, the shutdown, I was like, I don't have anything to do. I'm going to go insane.
Right.
Unless I dive into something artistic. And so I just took the dive and I made it happen. And that year, I mean, the channel blew up. Like it really, like, it wasn't like crazy blow up, but most of the subscribers now I think are due to 2020. And
I think that's when I discovered your videos. I just randomly, you know, I was like, man, this guy's got good quality. Okay.
Thanks, man.
Also, like comparison, poor Justin. There's some. I love you. Justin's a good guy, but some of his videos. But I was like, okay, quality, good audio, good presentation. I love the synthwave music. I was like, okay, the dark wave music, okay, and it's like factual. Even like your prediction videos, like they might not be spot on, but there's evidence that could be a potential guess or estimate. There's like, you're not just throwing something out there to see if it sticks. Like, hey, based on this, I think this is what they're doing this year.
That is my biggest pet peeve right now, especially in the day and age of like ChatGPT, where people just make shit up. And like, you know, last year it happened. One of the creators that like has blown up, made up a whole BS story about what the Terror Tram was going to be. Yeah. And people took it as Bible or as gospel, and they started sharing it everywhere, and it blew up. And I was like, y'all, this is not it, man. This is not it.
That's the problem. People this day and age, they can't think for themselves.
Yeah. So that's why I try to keep everything like fact based, or at least with some evidence behind the speculation a little bit.
You definitely do your homework on events every year. How do you come up with that information? Do you have like a certain way to conduct your research, particularly like your prediction videos? Like, how deep do you dive?
I mean, I dive pretty deep for sure.
Okay. You hop in fences at Horror Nights. I mean, during pre-construction. Hey, get out of here! You know.
No, I don't go that crazy. I'm not one of those fans, not yet. But no, like there's Discord groups, there's Reddit chats, there's Twitter is a big source of that. There's like Horror Night Nightmares, which is a Twitter that does all the speculation maps for Horror Nights. So there's a lot of avenues that I go into to like try to see what the fans are saying, see what the community is saying.
Okay.
My friends over at HHN 365 are also like super plugged in to that world. So you know, I'm always just collaborating with other people in the sphere, and we're always just like chit chatting about what could happen, right? And the research is just using like a lot of like, there's HHN wiki. There's like Not Scary Farm's Wikipedia page. Of course, Ted's book is like so influential, and it's so useful for like finding information about the past.
Okay.
And, so yeah, it's really just finding any avenue that I can online.
I know it's hard to keep things 100% secret. There has been information that slips through the cracks and it gets to the public somehow. But then like you'll have people like John Cook like threw everyone a curveball with like the Devil's Den a couple years ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember, man.
And then they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be like this devil maze."
Yeah,
dude. Like, okay. Even like I think last year, the year before, people purposely put out like a crate with like candy canes and like gingerbread men. They're like, "It's gonna be a Christmas maze." I'm like, I was like, if this is true, I will work this maze because I love Christmas horror. You know,
sure. I mean, hell, this year the maze that's going in the place of Mesmer, they put like beach balls and like inflatable beach toys.
Are you serious?
Out front.
Just to be jackasses.
Yeah, they're trying to devil's den us constantly.
That's hilarious.
I love it.
Or you have people go on Ghost Rider so they can see the backstage area. They're like, I see construction builds. Come on. Just talk to them shit. They'll tell you what's going on. It's like, that's funny. Circling back to tech, what type of video equipment are you using? I noticed like your quality of your video, your editing is really good, good quality. Definitely, it's not only a passion project, but it also seems to be your professional background. But as far as like you're on site at Haunts, is there certain like kind of lenses or specific cameras that you use?
Oh yeah, man. So my workhorse right now is the Sony A7C.
I think you told me this before.
Yeah, so that is a full frame camera, which gets incredible low light. And it's still pretty affordable because like this is still a hobby for me. Like I'm not trying to break the bank,
right? And
getting like $4,000 or $5,000 cameras. Eventually, maybe, you know what I mean. But right now, I'm just trying to keep everything budget friendly. And I just recently bought a 16mm lens for that camera, which is nice and wide. It gets down to f1.8, so it picks up low light really well in the mazes.
Okay.
So that's like my winning combo right now.
Right.
Is a 16mm lens on the Sony A7C. I'll also use the Sony FX30, which that one doesn't do as well in low light. However, it gets really great 4K slow-mo. So like when I try to get more cinematic shots of y'all in the scare zones.
Dude, you did that one my last year in Goring.
Dude,
and like I'll just stand here from the door and like I'll put the cigarette to my mouth. I'm like, when did he get that? Dude, I was like, I love that video, dude. I love that video because it was a mosh podge of like Horror Nights and then Dark Harbor and Knott's. And of course I was in there. You know.
Sure, yeah.
But I was like, dude, the audio, your audio quality, but your video quality when you're shooting, it just, even your intros and your video, it's just super crisp. And this is like footage you've captured. So
yeah.
Obviously you have an eye for it, but also it's you're taking time to research what kind of equipment to use, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. And you know, low light photography, low light videography is really tricky.
Okay.
Because like you have to get kind of like the right combination of things. You have to get a camera that has a really powerful ISO, lens that can stop way open so that you can get more light into it.
Got it.
Also a lens that has good autofocus because sometimes in low light it can kind of confuse the lens a little bit. And so it makes it hard to capture those moments. And then especially once you're shooting slow motion, you really, really need a camera that can get like really, really good low light.
Got it.
Because you're essentially cutting out how much light the camera is getting because you're shooting at a higher frame rate, like 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second.
I know Chris from the Walker Chronicles, another YouTuber channel. He's a big camera guy.
Yeah.
And I know Marina, his wife, she does all the editing for their videos. But Chris, he dove deep on. I had him on years ago. But he's another big camera guy. He worked for, I think, I want to say Pioneer. I don't know, but I might be mistaken. He worked for an electronic
company.
Yeah, I forget who, but yeah, he's a huge camera guy, and he's like lenses, and he explained the whole same thing you did, like low lighting and having the proper cameras. I was like, okay.
Yeah, dude, it's a very important combination of it, and like I'm always happy to talk shop. So like if anybody ever sees me out there and wants to know about this stuff, like this is what I geek out about because like. I love doing research on it, and like, you know, I've been shooting now at the Haunts for a couple of years, so I feel very confident about like the gear that I have. But it does take a lot of research, and you do have to like go out there and do a lot of trial and error and see what works best.
Cool. Yeah, dude, definitely. I love your audio quality. What kind of mics were you using for when you do your prediction videos?
I mean, for the most part, I'll use the Shure SM7B, which is, you know, it's a very expensive microphone, but damn, is it good. Right. It's really good. But then I'll also use the, it's like the baby cousin to the 7B. I think it's the Shure MX7 or something like that. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
But it's like a smaller version of the SM7B. And then sometimes I'll use, I mean, it just depends on the day, you know what I mean? It depends on like the kind of mood that I'm trying to set. If it's a voiceover though, it's the SM7B for sure.
Now, when you do your VO or you're doing like just a video or even you do your lives, are we tying into an interface or are you directly into your PC? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I go into a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. Okay. And so that's what I usually go from, like my microphone into that. For my live streams for a while there, I was using a headset microphone by Audio-Technica.
Okay.
I forget the name of it exactly, but it uses the same diaphragm as the AT2020.
Okay.
Which is like one of my favorite large diaphragm condenser microphones.
I was about to say condenser mics.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it just sounds so good. It sounds so crisp.
I mean, these dinosaurs I've had since 2019. One of them's bad. I got to replace, but these mics
sound great, man.
I love them, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, these are my original headphones. You can see that the pleather on them is it's falling apart. But
that's how you know, man.
I mean, I do the Rodecaster Pro, the original one, but yeah, your audio quality too. I was like, okay, Jonathan knows what he's doing. I think we even talk shop a lot, little audio equipment. So
yeah,
that's cool. You're willing to talk shop with people out there.
Yeah, man. I have no secrets, dude. I have no secrets ever, and I'm down to talk memory cards, microphones, cables, headphones, whatever. Man.
Doing cables, I just bought whatever was on Amazon.
Dude, honestly, it's fine. It's totally fine. Right. Yeah, because some people will pay premium for like gold plated cable.
How do you feel about pop shields? I know I use one. I took them off the other mics. Also, like I used to have the mics that attach to the tabletops.
Oh, sure.
And they pivot in, they swung. They were just a pain in the butt now. Tabletop mics. How do you feel? I mean, what's your preference?
I mean, pop filters are definitely necessary, especially depending on the microphone. Like, I have mine. I'm using your MXL right now, but I have it like kind of at an angle.
Oh, that's your preference, yeah.
So that, but also so that it doesn't pop right into the diaphragm. You know what I mean?
Because I used to be like this on the mic. This is
the closer you get, the more you need it for sure.
Yeah, because I was like, the mic wasn't my mouth. I put the microphone in my mouth like this. Hey, this is Rick. This is Ray Creeper 11. I'm like, I was like, why am I breathing so heavy? So I learned to back off the mic and use a pop shield. But before, I'm like, so how was it at Horror Nights when you were a monster? Like, you perv. I'm like, oh, sorry, I got asthma. Yeah, I learned the hard way, dude. So yeah. Anyways, I think we're at a stopping point. We're gonna take a quick break, drink some water. We'll be back with Jonathan. This is episode 33, and we will be right back.
You're listening to the CreepCast.
Don't you dare try to escape. The CreepCast with Rick Creeper shall return.
This episode of the CreepCast is brought to you by Haunted Whittier. I've known the owner, Jacob Caputo, for a couple of years now. We've actually worked together over at Knott Scary Farm. And on top of that, I've actually done these tours. Myself being a veteran of the haunt industry, I can tell you this, the experience is very top notch. Jacob's a total history buff, so when he takes you through these locations, he's giving you the real documented history along with the hauntings. Here's what to expect. Pio Pico's mansion, the eerie, real-life legacy of the last Mexican governor here in California. This one's pretty cool, actually. Historical ghost walks, explore the documented spirits, the dark side of Uptown Whittier. Museum flashlight tours, that sounds kind of spooky. A pitch-black journey through the Whittier Museum. Because he knows the history so well, these stories really resonate with you. You can follow them on Instagram at Haunted Whittier Tours or on Facebook at Haunted Whittier. And also, head over to hauntedwhittier.com to grab your tickets and make sure you tell Jacob that Rick Creeper sent you. Hey guys, this is Rick Creeper 11 again. I just want to say thank you so much for being supportive of the podcast since its inception. Is that the word? Since 2019, for every episode when I was at Sinister Point, Dark Harbor, Midsummer Scream, and down at the Scary Farm. You're the reason why I do this. You're the reason why I put in the time, the effort, and the labor. Because if I could create something for you that's going to distract you for a minute or make your ride, enjoyable on the way to work or home, or just have you check out from all the BS that's going on in the world, it's all worthwhile. So thank you again to all the supporters. Thank you for the listeners out there. Thank you for all the fans, the guests at Scary Farm, everyone who's been involved somehow, indirectly or directly, everything I've done. You're the reason why I did it. And it feels good to be back. And yeah, man,
What does a mime look like when he's having sex anyway? Probably like, oh, I'm a mime. I'm a mime.
Where do you think you're going? There is no escape from the CreepCast with Rick Creeper.
You're listening to the CreepCast.
All right, we're back at it. Episode 23. Wow, what is it, 2019?
Throwback.
Who was episode 23? I don't even know. Episode 33 with Jonathan from the Hauntline. So we're back at it. All right. So we're going to shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about another hobby that we both share. Yeah, I guess you smile. What a nerd. Surprised you didn't bring dice. Nerd. Where's your character sheet out?
Hold on. They'll pull up the app.
Here, pull up the app. Nerd. Yeah. This episode's over. I'm going to talk about D&D. How did that come to be? And how long have you been playing now?
Yeah, man. It's so funny. D&D had always been something that I've been curious about. I think obviously like Stranger Things came out and,
right.
And that really like opened the door to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right, D&D. I forgot that was something that like I've always wanted to give it a shot. Like I've always wanted to try.
Nerds used to play.
Yeah, exactly. But like I had always heard of it, but I had never really had friends that like played it.
It's hard. It was hard back in the day to find people.
Sure.
Unless you had friends that was willing to do all the work and host.
Right.
I found my group through Meetup app.
Oh,
and I'll tell you a story after you share yours.
Okay. So yeah, but then it wasn't until like really starting to vibe with more haunt people that like the doors started opening to play D&D. So Dodger, who if you're not familiar with Dodger, he played the faceless or the peel away face butcher in Ghost Town, and he's also had many roles.
Yeah, I remember.
But that's like his most recent one. He was we had worked together at LA Haunted Hayride years ago, so we had like already an established friendship.
Okay.
Turns out that he's a DM, and so like at one point I was just like, hey dude, I really want to try D&D.
Okay.
Would you run a session for me and my friends?
What year was this?
This was, I want to say 2022.
Okay, so you've been playing for a couple of years now. Okay.
Yeah, so but fairly recent. We've like fairly recently started playing. Maybe it was 2023 actually.
Okay.
So he ran 2 sessions for myself and a group of friends. We had a blast. We really loved it. And so then,
what was your first character?
It was a barbarian.
A barbarian gnome or what?
No, he's oh god, I'm blanking on it. Did I play? Yeah, I must have played him. Half orc barbarian.
Okay.
Named Muck. Yeah.
That's very original. No, I'm just kidding, dude.
But it was fun. It was fun playing a barbarian. I loved just being like, flash and smash.
Oh, dude, that's it. Just barbarians just go in there and get it done. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I'll always have a special place in my heart for Muck. I made him in Baldur's Gate 3, of course.
Okay, cool.
And I 3D printed him too.
Okay.
And made him in Hero Forge and everything.
That's cool.
So I played Muck 2 times. And then from there, I ended up running my own campaign.
I was about to ask you that. You took the DM seat not too long ago.
Not too long, yeah, at all. It was, I believe, it was 2024, and we had the game from like 2024 to like, it must have been 2025.
Was this a long campaign?
It was long in that like, scheduling is always a hard part, right?
How often were you guys playing? Like once a month, twice a month?
We were trying to play at least once a month.
Yeah.
But, sometimes we had to go a little bit longer just because of everyone's schedule.
Yeah,
haunt and jobs and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then also, like, I found that, like, we would get through sessions and I would be like, oh, there's still a lot more to tell. And so instead of trying to rush through everything, I would be like, hey, guys, I had originally envisioned this as like a 3-story or a 3-session arc. But we're developing a little bit more. We're like, I don't want to rush through anything. So I would be like, hey, do you guys want to finish this session right here? Or should we add a session and like get more into the story?
Yeah.
And so like we added like a couple of sessions. It ended up being, I think, like 6 or 7 sessions total.
Okay.
So it kind of it expanded throughout the year, and it was the Fiend of Hollow Mine.
Okay.
Which is a fun module, really fun module.
So you actually ran your first module.
Yes.
What level are we talking about?
Everyone started at level 1.
Okay. Oh, dude, it's so rough.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, wow, dude. You're like, you have like no, yeah. Especially if you're like a spellcaster, you have like nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
You have like 1 spell and like 5 HP.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Or maybe I think we took a consensus at the table, and I think we started level 2.
Okay.
And so like then we kind of leveled up from there. I think everyone ended up at level 4, maybe level 5.
Okay.
As the game went on.
My problem with 5e, I mean, it's user friendly. I love it, but if you let your players get too OP'd, then it becomes a superhero campaign, and nothing's challengeable unless I'm like, okay, you guys, you want these special feats, and you want a subclass, and you want to be, you know, a warlock barbarian. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. You want to take level 1 warlock? Okay, that's fine. You can have all these magical items, but then guess what?
Yeah,
they're gonna have it as well.
Right.
I'm gonna increase that challenge rate.
Exactly. Yeah.
How was your first experience being a DM?
It was phenomenal, man.
Okay.
I definitely got hooked on it because you know, I had seen other folks run games, and I was like, okay, I love the world building aspect of it.
Yeah.
I love the collaborative nature of it.
Have you become the forever DM, or do you get to play occasionally?
You know, I do get to play occasionally, which is nice.
Yeah.
But you know, it's fun that we like kind of trade off now. Like I know a couple of DMs now, so it's like, hey, you know, let me play at your table and you can play at mine, kind of a deal. You know what I mean?
I've been the forever DM for about 2 years now.
Oh, damn, dude.
I mean, we do an annual road trip. My buddies from down here, we meet up some friends from Northern California. We meet up in Central California, and we do an Airbnb and
that's fun, man.
Eat a bunch of food we're not supposed to eat. We do
That's the way to do it.
We do a one shot just for the night, and then we've been running this continuous campaign. So one day it's a one shot, which is kind of like a revolving DM. It was my chance last year. Of course, it was horror themed, and it had like heavy metal music for combat music to put everyone on edge.
Amazing.
And it was just like werewolves and like liches and everything. And I had like this,
the 3D printing you did for that.
You saw all the wolves, all the towns. Because we had all this, you know, when I was working with this company I was with, we had all this materials about to expire.
Sure.
So I'm like, hey, can I? He's like, yeah, go ahead. So I was printing all my village pieces, all my werewolves.
Cool, man. So cool.
We had this giant map. It was like 6 feet by like 5 feet. And then the kitchen had like this giant island. So I had this huge forest.
Oh, perfect.
And then like 18 werewolves, and the party was like, oh shit. So we do that. But I literally, we play every second Saturday of the month. And usually we cut it off about August, September for Haunt.
Sure.
So we've been running this campaign. It's called Storm King's Thunder. And it's based in, these cats are making a bunch of noise in the background. It's based in the continent of Faerun, which is the world of Forgotten Realms.
Sure.
So this campaign, it's like the giants are at each other's throats. And like the giants are fighting and ancient dragons. And then like all these factions are at, you know, everyone's trying to pole position for control.
Sure.
And you're the ones that's trying to figure out what's going on. But I like the homebrew. I like to throw a little hot sauce in there and like figure out, throw little curveballs in them. You got to go that way now. Or like I'll do like holiday one shots for them. Like
that's fun.
I did a St. Patty's for them, and it was like, you know, this town called Clover's Hollow, and like this like leprechaun trickster, like made them play games and messed with them. They fought like ghost pirates. Then I did like a St. Patty. No, I'm sorry, I did a Halloween. And every year we do a Christmas themed one too as well.
Oh, that's so fun, dude.
Yeah, so far cool. they fought Krampus, which they were terrified.
Amazing.
And I had this amazing like, and I love building maps now, dude. Like I try not to go too crazy, but like I like crafting my own maps. They fought Krampus the first year. The second year was the Grinch, but it was the Jim Carrey Grinch. Because one of our players doesn't like that movie. I'm like, oh, okay. So I made sure it was the Jim Carrey Grinch, even the mini and the way I talked and my mannerism just to piss him off. And like Max was like a dire wolf. He had like a pack with him.
Nice.
And then the third year, they were supposed to fight Lock, Shock, and Barrel.
Fun.
But then they got sidetracked, and I had like a sub quest. And this year I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I only get to play as a player maybe once or twice a year.
Sure.
But I don't mind being the DM. Like the world building is fun.
Yeah.
What I learned is like try not to like imagine the whole world.
Right.
Just
build
have
sections at a time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Have one forest, have one village, have one temple, have a plan A, B, maybe a C.
Yeah.
Like we just played on Saturday. I have, without revealing too much, I have multiple scenarios based on which way they want to go.
Nice.
And I told the party, like, hey, I took off the first training wheel off a couple months ago.
Sure.
You're all level 6. You have some cool items. You're getting beefy. I'm like, the second one's coming off soon. So thank you, Google Gemini AI. I'm like, hey, here's the party's character sheets. And this is what I want to do. It's like, oh, based on their character sheets, this and that, you should increase the challenge rating to this and this monster. Okay, let's create the stat blocks. Gemini, if you ever got to build anything.
Interesting.
Gemini AI has been helping me.
Because the CR is hard to find or hard to calculate, man. Like the book doesn't do a great job.
The books do not do a great job on the challenge rating. They're you just tell them, hey, this is the party level. They'll even like, okay, we'll modify these zombies to make them more like sort of like slow walking, like walkers. We'll make them like World War Z zombies. And then they have this, that, and the other. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because like I had to modify a lot for my party as well, because like they were all already experienced players, which was a lot of fun as a first time DM to just kind of like not have to worry about them not knowing their character sheet. Like they all were experienced players who knew how to play, and so I was there mostly just to referee and to be like, all right, here's your sandbox.
Yeah,
what do you want to do in it? You know
so
what I mean?
There's another YouTube channel called the DM Layer.
Yes,
DM Luke. He was actually on a panel in Midsummer Scream.
Oh, that's cool.
What I learned from him was he's like, look at your actual players, not the character sheets. Find personal characteristics of them, and use that in your campaign against them. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I have one player who's very proudful, one who's a big chicken amongst like spiders.
Sure.
Another one is indecisive, and another one who doesn't like to take lead.
Sure.
So I was like, So I put them in scenarios that their real personalities and their personal characteristics come out in the game. So they're like, oh, what do I do here? I'm like, I don't know. What do you do? I love it. One player's like, so what does that mean? I'm like, I don't know. What does it mean? Or, whoa, can I look into that? And I always go, you can certainly try. And they hate when I do that.
Sure.
I do the death save. So people don't know what the death saves are. Once old school D&D, once you were dead, you were dead.
Right.
There was like scrolls of resurrections and all that, this and there. But now like you go unconscious.
Right.
And you zero your HP, your hit points go 0. So you have 3 opportunities to revive yourself. So it's either saves or successes. So you roll the D20 dice, and if you roll a D10, if you roll a 10 on the D20, then you have 1 save.
Right.
If you roll below, then it's a failure.
Yeah.
I do them behind the screen.
Oh.
Because think about it.
Fascinating. Yeah, just to build the tension.
If I go down and we're like in an arena fight or whatever against like gladiators, and I go down, excuse me, and you know that I have 2 more saves, in game you're like, Rick's cool, you know, so-and-so will get to heal him. If you don't know what my saves are, that puts attention on the players.
Right.
What I'm going to do next time too is another YouTuber that I was following, he says like, hey, do their skill checks behind the screen. Like, hey, I want to do a sleight of hand, or I want to do a perception check or insight. Because if you roll right in front of me and like, you know, you see the number and it's low, you're like, oh, I didn't guess it, but you don't know what the number is. And I know what you're proficient, like in sleight of hand or whatever.
Sure.
If I know if you're successful or you failed, then I just kind of play like, as far as you know, you're solid 100%. You're pretty confident you're going to open up this chest.
Right.
But if they roll the dice in front of them, they're like, oh, so that's the next thing I'm going to do in the next campaign. I'm going to do their checks and their saves behind the screen. Most likely just the checks, but
sure. Interesting.
Yeah. So like,
but that's the fun thing about D&D too, is that there's so many ways to play it, and there's like so many little tips and tricks you can take from different DMs or different campaigns, and it's like that's what really drew me to it as a game, is that the world building is collaborative.
Yeah.
But then also like it's just the idea of giving these players a sandbox to play in and kicking back and seeing what they do with it. Like that was always my favorite thing, is just like kicking back and seeing them interact with each other, like seeing all the characters interact with each other.
You paint a portrait and you see what they're like, well, maybe we should do this. And in your head, you're like, you idiots, I know exactly what's going on. I like to do fake rolls. I'm like, hey, Jonathan, what's your AC again? You're like 15, and I roll a dice and I go, okay. And they're like, why are you doing that? Like recently, hey, what's your guys' total gold for each person? And I wrote it down because there's a reason why. They're, why? I'm like, just curious.
That's so funny, man.
So I just sometimes I'll roll dice and I'll go, wow. And they're, what? I'm nothing. Just to mess with them. I like to do some voices. I like to like paint portraits. I like to have music in the background, or just like, you know, I give everyone a fair opportunity to like have their role playing. You know, not everyone wants to role play.
Right.
The only thing I expect, I'm like, hey, you know, if I'm incorrect about something, we could challenge it, but I don't want to spend all day challenging it.
Sure, yeah.
We'll figure it out. We'll make the correction next time. Also, It's like, hey, this is the rules I set. Unless I'm like blatantly wrong or out of line, this is what we're going to roll with. Because like, you know, some DMs might not want to do feats. Some DMs might not want to do certain rules. Like I like 2014 rules.
Okay.
I don't like the 2024 rules personally.
Sure.
You know, our friends in Frisco, they're like cyborg fairies that everyone's a gunslinger and they're multi-classed and this, that, and the other, and they're superheroes. I'm like, no, I like meats and potatoes, old school D&D.
Sure.
I mean, I started playing when I was a kid, like in the 80s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So long story short, didn't play for years. And I was like, in 2017, I'm like, man, I used to play D&D. I just discovered Critical Role, the podcast.
Ah, okay.
And this is when they were like on Geek and Sundry. Like this is like when they weren't really that popular.
Wow. Okay. So you got in on the ground.
So I was like, okay, what's this podcast? I'm like, man, I kind of miss playing D&D, this, that, and the other. So I was looking at another hobby, like the medieval combat league, but it was going to cost me like 10 grand for armor. And I just bought a new car. I was like, I got a sports car. Where am I going to put this armor at, this custom armor? So I was like, you know, I'm going to play D&D. So someone told me or discovered it on my own, the Meetup app. And I was like, okay, so I found a D&D group, and I live here in Fountain Valley. I found a D&D group in Huntington Beach. They're like, okay, fill out this questionnaire, this, that, and the other. We have all these games I never heard of. You know, we do this, we do that. We use Genesis Dice. I'm like, what's a Genesis Dice system? That's for like Star Wars, all these other all these other RPG games. So we're like, hey, we're playing D&D. It's a homebrew. It's a large group, and it's like it's user friendly for new players. You know, it's my buddy Rich, and he's the reason why I became a DM. He's an older dude like me, been playing for 30 years, whatever.
Sure.
So he's like, yeah, we play in my garage, just show up. So, you know, it's me, the meathead, and I'm walking up, and I hear like this garage door open. You know, it's here in Huntington Beach, typical like ranch style home. You know, the garage is attached to the house. I walk up, and they're like, and it's all these like normal looking, kind of nerdy guys. It's me, like, you know, probably like in a haunt shirt and a backwards hat, my beard and tatted. They're like, are you the pizza guy? I'm no, dude, I'm here to play D&D. Like, my name's Rick. They're like, oh, I feel so awkward.
That's
I feel so
funny,
awkward.
dude.
But then I struggle for the longest time. So then we started playing with my recent group, like during COVID, I think. And then we played online. Then the second we got to play in person, all the online guys were like, we don't want to play online anymore. Like, in person is different. So
yeah,
I picked up in 2017, and then the recent group, we've been together since 2020. And then now we do this 2-year campaign. I think it's been 2.5 years.
Wild.
But we only play once a month, and we stop for Haunt. We stop in August.
Sure, that makes sense.
So you figure, I mean, we're at level 6. This module, it goes to level 11. But we've had side tracks of like side quest and home brewing, and also I like to put my own twist on it. So, is there any other games you want to try? Any other tabletops, like, you know, like Call of Cthulhu? There's some superhero ones. There's also like, you know, what else? There's like Star Wars Saga. There's other.
The Star Wars kind of definitely has me curious. Magic the Gathering actually is one that I've been super curious about. I know that that's a card game. It's not like a tabletop game, but you know, I'm down to try most anything. I know that there's the Kids on Bikes system. That they have different games that it's kind of like 5e, but it's a little bit more simplified. There's a ton of ones that I'm always down to play though. Or to try out.
I have a book here I'm going to share with you. It's called Superheroes 5e.
Oh, okay.
So they took like the world of like Marvel and DC, because in Marvel they're mutants.
Sure.
And then in DC they're metahumans.
Yes. Yeah.
So like you could be like, you know, the Punisher, just like a badass soldier with all these skills, or you could be like a mutant that was like, you know, a lab accident, or you could be like Thor, you're born with these skill sets, and you can literally create your own superhero. So I played it once as we did like a session 0, and I did like a wrestler who didn't know he was a mutant.
Cool.
He was called Mr. Fantastico.
Nice.
And his grandfather was like El Super Fantastico. Then his dad was El Fantastico.
Amazing.
And they were like undefeated family. And he's like, hey, why are we so strong? And this, that, and the other. Like, hey, we have a confession. We're mutants. And he's like, oh. So like I literally walked around just like in an Adidas jumpsuit all day, just like just beating people up, and like it was like this. Like I was just like an old school like Mexican wrestlers, like El Santo with a blue mask and a suit sometimes. And I had like a gym. That was like my character.
That's amazing, dude. I love that.
Yeah, it was fun. And it was just like but we only played it a couple times. I bought the module. I just haven't studied it. And also there's like you know, BattleTech, which has the coolest minis. It ties into like a lot of anime, like Man Cross.
Sure.
And it's a grid system. I have to learn that. And then we've been talking about trying to play Call of Cthulhu, which is more.
You know, I did play that. I actually, you just rung a bell in my head. I didn't finish the game. I forgot why, but I started it in the pandemic era. Over online, and Call of Cthulhu was pretty interesting, man.
It's different. I think it's a D6 system.
Yeah,
and it's all theater of the mind.
Yes, yeah, which was very interesting because like it was kind of fun to like kind of imagine all this stuff online and like build off of each other like that for sure.
I've been wanting to do so. I've been trying to homebrew this campaign where it's D&D but 1984 like modern times.
Nice.
So like, you know, there's dwarves, there's elves, and there's like an ancient district, but like it'd be modern weapons.
Gotcha.
So I called it Vector 84, and I want to take D&D rules, but it's like if D&D crossed into the real world.
That's
so it's
cool,
like,
man.
Hey, it's been thousands and thousands of years. Your ways are no longer existent, and then they call them the ancients that live in their districts, and like, you know, weapons are like you know how the lifesaver charges.
Yeah,
it's more of like a pulse beam. That's on one of the weapons being. They had rifles, but I was like,
that's cool, man.
I'll run that eventually, but.
I have an idea for like a 5e D&D Western, but it's like a steampunk Western.
That'd be cool.
So like think Wild Wild West.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So but like, that's the thing is that like the world building is so involved.
There's so much you have to do.
Yeah, man. It's like you're literally kind of writing a television show.
Yeah.
And like I don't think people really understand that. Like
you could write the beginning, middle, and end,
Yeah.
and you could build it as you go.
Right.
And what I learned, it's like, hey, you create a scenario here.
Right.
But the party went left instead of right. You could take that scenario and place it somewhere else. And
right.
that's what I learned recently. So I was like, okay. I also wanted to do. I actually did. I ran a one shot. It was called Curse of the Green Mist.
Ooh. Okay.
And so I made Sarah Marshall like a hag in this town.
Oh, dude.
And the town was cursed.
Sick.
So I used Sarah Marshall's like reference photos. They're like, what's yeah. So I literally made like the lore of Knott's into like a campaign.
That's fucking awesome.
Or
man.
like this green mist instead of fog came in. And was kids were being kidnapped.
Oh, interesting.
And so what it was, like these kobolds worked for this witch, and when the fog rolled in, the kobolds were stealing the kids pretty much, and they had to fight this green hag. So yeah,
that's cool, man.
Yeah,
I like
so
that.
like that was like a little Knott's lore, but like man, you could literally homebrew anything and like take the stats from whatever monsters are there.
Yeah, yeah.
Or just homebrew your monster. With the Gemini, dude, it's like, okay, here's the stats on this, but I'm gonna modify this. What do you think? I'm like, okay, tone that down, add this, that, and that, and other, but. In artwork, dude, like reference artwork, because I'm a visual guy. So like I was printing artwork like just as references. I'm like, okay, this is what these soldiers look like. Or I'm like, now I make this artwork for me. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I just text it to everybody. But we should play one day, dude.
I'm down, dude. Okay. I'm always down to play some more D&D.
Let's do like maybe like a session 0.
Yeah.
Like or like a quick one shot. And
sure.
Because you could do a one shot and then from there maybe it could be like a mini campaign.
Right. Absolutely. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it can be something chill. It doesn't have to be something too crazy, too serious, and like no commitment. Like, you know, we get food, we mess around. And it's like, you know, it's just I forget shit all the time, dude. But yeah, we'll figure something out.
Cool, man. I'm excited.
I'll let you borrow that superheroes book. You can check it out.
Okay, cool.
I don't know when it started, but I think most of our interactions was when I was working Hauntline. I think I roasted you most of the time. I don't know how.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I think our connection was Dan Baranowski, who we talked about earlier. But how did that start? When did it start?
Yeah, I think it started online, man.
I think we just started chatting.
Yeah. I think it was, and I think it was 1870 Haunt Manor.
My cousin's home haunt back in the day.
Yeah. Shout out to Michael. I had him his haunt in like a video that I made in 2020 about home haunts.
I remember that, dude. Okay.
And so I think because of that, like you ended up following the Hauntline.
I think so.
And then we started interacting online.
Okay.
And I almost want to go back and like look at the messages because I feel like that's where it started. And then like I found out you had a podcast. And so like it just kind of developed naturally from there. But I do think it was 1870.
Was I giving you a hard time at 1870? I don't.
Maybe. That sounds. I don't
like
think you were. I don't think you were, but I think you saw the video.
Okay.
And you were like, oh shoot, that's Michael's haunt.
Well, dude, because back then it was like us, Pirates Cave.
Yeah.
What else was in Orange County?
Not a ton, man.
Dude, like one night we had like tons of people on that cul-de-sac.
Crazy.
And everyone was just hanging out, and we're like, Michael, what do we do? He's like, just keep improvising. Dude, like dudes showed up, a bunch of street bikes showed up, and like people were like, we're hanging out, and we're like, this is getting out of hand. So 10 o'clock, Mike's like, oh, kill the lights, get off stage. It's like, But like we saw all these Knott's jerseys, and again, I was still kind of like an independent haunter, and I worked at Dark Harbor and Sinister Point and all that. So all these jerseys are showing up. I'm like, dude, these are people from Knott's like hanging out.
Especially back then, we were all just so hungry for it. We were also like starved of like, we want the Halloween. We want.
I saw Ed Cobb in the distance. I'm like, dude, that's Ed Cobb. I don't know him, but I know him. It was like he was there. I was like, I see a bunch of Ghost Town jerseys. What the hell did we do? I was like, what did we do, Michael? Yeah.
That's wild, man. So yeah, I think that was our like the genesis of our knowing each other was 1870, and then from there, I think it just developed online, and then once you started working at Knott's, for sure.
You came to Pirates Cave, correct?
Yeah, I did.
And I think I roasted you when you came through because you were wearing shorts. It was always the shorts.
It's always the shorts, man. Yeah. It's always the short and the hair.
The hair, the shorts. And I think I made fun of you and Goring too.
Like
I still call people chicken legs. There's this one TikTok video. Everyone's like, hey, there's a video on your TikTok. I'm like, I gotta download TikTok. Okay, cool. And it's me as a clown. This guy said something to me and I went up to him. It was like opening night. And I said something like, hey, I like those shorts you got on, chicken legs. And I just walked away and he was like, damn, I just got here. Damn. And everyone was like, dude, that video is trendy. I'm like, what video? You were calling the guy chicken legs. So like people were expecting it. And I was like, oh, dude, all right, double-edged sword.
Yeah.
He came back and he's like, hey, chicken legs. And I'm like, who's this guy calling me chicken legs? I'm like, oh, you're that dude. I was like, but like, I think it was always like me making fun of your shorts.
Yeah.
And like, because the thing in Goring, I was like, because grown men didn't wear shorts in the 20s. So I'm like, what are you, a toddler? Put some pants on. Stuff like
or
that.
You would give me some of your money and you were like, hey, go buy some pants.
Put some pants on.
You bum or whatever.
Dude, I had too much fun with that character, dude. I'm like, get out of here, bum. Go get a job. Or I tell people, hey, you got a face for radio. And they're like, huh? It's an insult. It means you're ugly. It's like,
I have a box at home that's just like all like my little haunt trinkets that I've collected through the years. And like, I'm happy that I've got like a couple of bills from you.
That means a lot, dude.
Yeah, man. And then I've got like some tickets that I got written up.
My last night, you were standing there watching the tiger crawl, and I had all this blood money on me. I'm like, this is the last night I'm going to be here. I went in front of the tiger crawl, and I just threw it up in the air.
Yeah, dude, that was epic.
And it just rained, and everybody was like, oh, and I saw you smiling. I'm like, all right, dude, cool. I did my part.
Yeah, dude, that was sick.
Because I was out there right here on the patio. And, I'm pointing at my patio. No one can see besides you. I would sit there at our patio table, and I just making the money, that's buying wild, making it. And I had enough for myself, for the cast, and to share. And then, yes, it wasn't period accurate, but like the period accurate
whatever, man.
Counterfeit money was a little more expensive. So I just bought that and bloodied it up. And then it ended with me. No one carried that tradition.
Yeah, man. And that's the magic, dude. That is the magic about like the performers at Knott specifically, like, that you guys can bring that to the table and
that was fun.
Make your own signature, or you with the brass knuckles.
Yeah, that was fun.
I mean?
3D printing those, that was fun.
Dude.
Yeah,
it's just little stuff like that.
Like the mustache and like, the spaz cover, the white shoe covers, and like, the emerald green pimp ring that was gold, and like
the bowler hat too.
They gave me like a fedora, but it looked like a floppy like Bob Dylan hat. I'm like, what am I gonna play acoustic guitar out here? I was like, this is terrible. So I'm like, can I wear a bowler hat? They're like, do you mind leaving behind and getting it painted? I'm like, yeah. So that was my hat the entire run.
Wow.
I'm like, that hat's coming with me, thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was just fun putting my own signature on. But yeah, I think I just always roasted. It was your hair, or maybe like, I don't know, dude, it just. Your shorts.
Yeah,
I remember that. Go buy some pants, you bum. And just like, I had fun. I had fun with that character. It was time to move on, dude. So
sure.
So, what can we expect in the future of the Hauntline?
Definitely, I want to go back to doing more live streams. I mean, the speculation season is heating up like crazy, so I got to get on it. I'm working a lot right now, which is like the unfortunate part of like what I do as a profession. Like, I'm traveling a lot for work.
Kind of figured.
And like it sucks because it's like May is usually when things really start picking up and ramping up. So I'm hoping by June to be like settled into a job where I don't have to travel so much. So I want to do more like weekly live streams where we're talking speculation, or we're doing like top 5 lists, just talking haunt until the haunt season. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's a couple of history videos that I'm working on. I do want to lean into that a little bit more and to talk about like SoCal haunt history and events that maybe people missed, or events that I want to see come back.
Okay.
Terror Tram History Part 2 is definitely one that like people are always asking for. So I'm like, yeah, I know. I keep starting to write it in, but those history videos, y'all, let me tell you, they're so involved.
Right.
There's so much research.
There's so much research, and then the amount of editing you have to do as well. And then
yeah.
I get it, dude. You're up late at night. You're like, how's that sound? How's that look?
Yeah. And then
any slight imperfection, you're like, oh no.
And you're trying to find examples of like media, right? Like if you reference something, you have to find something visual to like back it up or whatever.
Exactly.
So it's a lot, but it's stuff that I love doing, and so I just have to like make the time to do it.
I get it, dude.
But yeah, that's pretty much the future of it. It's just live streams, history videos, and probably more short form content too.
What are you looking forward to the most this haunt season?
Of course, the lineup this year at Horror Nights seems pretty interesting.
It's its 35th anniversary
in Orlando.
In Orlando, yeah.
So in Orlando for sure, the whole Jack versus Oddfellow aspect of it is pretty freaking cool.
You know, it's funny. Jim and I said you would geek out on that.
Did it really?
So Jonathan should enjoy this. And I was like, damn, you must know him personally.
It knows too much. Right? I don't like it.
Anything public out there, like they could pull. I'm telling you, use it for your D&D campaign. I'm telling you, dude.
Fucking nuts, man. So that has me really excited. The prospect of Sinners maybe being one of the IPs at Horror Nights is pretty cool.
That'd be a dope maze.
Yeah. And then I am so curious what is coming to Not Scary Farm, because the facade that's at Accelerator is taking interesting shape. And then we should get a new maze that's the Grimoire replacement. So
2 new mazes this year.
Yeah, so that always excites me, is like what is going to happen at Knott's? What's going to be the theme for the new mazes?
Hear me out. And I think Horror Nights Universal could pull it off. If Universal got the IP for Leprechaun,
sure.
Think about how cool of a maze they could do, like a trilogy, like all 4 movies.
Yeah.
Just because they
Leprechaun Legacy.
Right? There you go. Yeah. we went down a rabbit hole recently, me and Krista. We were watching the Leprechaun movies, and I seen like the first one slightly.
Sure.
Then I started watching. I'm like, dude, these are amazing. His banter, like when we went to Vegas, he's all it's like pretending he's Elvis. And
Sure.
I was like, that'd be dope if a Horror Nights had like a Leprechaun maze. And I was like just him popping out, amigo. You know, just the movies are so classic, dude. He went to space in one of the movies.
Yes, yeah. I gotta watch those, man. I haven't seen them. I'm so curious.
They're
about
so
them.
bad, dude, but so good. It's like, oh my gosh. So where can people find you on your socials? Instagram, YouTube?
Yeah, so youtube.com/The Hauntline, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at The Hauntline. And that's it. That's all I can plug.
Anything else? That's it. No more plugs.
That's it, man.
Cool. So if you've been a fan for the podcast for a while, I just brought this back recently where I do a fantasy question.
Yeah.
This is where normally we wrap things up. And for you, again, there's a time portal that opens up here. It's your fantasy. You go back and do whatever you want, how you want, when you want, based on what I can come up with. So my question to you is,
okay,
if you could attend and do media coverage for any haunt in any era, what would it be? But the kicker is, what type of tech would you use from that era?
Oh, dude.
So if we're going back to like the golden era of haunt, like in Knott's, like in late 80s, early 90s, like what kind of camera do you have that's available to like the public?
Sure.
Unless you work in the industry and get some like high-end, like shoulder strap, like camera.
Right. Oh, dude.
So what era, what haunt, and what kind of like period accurate equipment would you use from that? You'd have like a shotgun mic like from the 90s. It's
right.
So what would it be?
I mean, my heart tells me it would be opening night of Not Scary Farm for sure.
So we're talking
77, I think. Yeah, okay. 77. And so it would have to be, though, I mean, it would have to be one of those big camcorders.
You would have to have a crew probably.
Yeah, like it would have to be like a broadcast quality camcorder with like a big light on it.
I believe like they had like a the rig was battery packs that look like a tool belt.
Yeah. And it was just bulky. It was
sound
just bulky and crazy.
You had a sound tech that was tethered to you.
Yeah.
He probably had
a shotgun mic
with some type of mixer
on a boom. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it would have to be a crew. It would have to be a crew. But like, I think there would be something also like if there's a second part to this, there would be something magical to going to like Not Scary Farm in 1985 and having a VHS camcorder. like one of those big shoulder VHS
Big old shoulder
camcorders.
ones. That'd be dope.
With the light on it and with the microphone on it, and just walking around and getting footage of everything.
Imagine.
That would be so cool, man. That would be really fun.
So it'd definitely be, I mean, it'd be a short run. I think it was like one weekend they did it.
Yeah. It was very short runs back then.
I could only imagine like the equipment, the amount of weight, and just because there's not a lot of footage from there.
No,
I mean,
no.
there's footage from like I think it was called the Good Time Theater back then, yeah, it was a Good Time Theater.
And there's some like broadcast news footage of it. There's some photos of it, but like the coverage isn't like it is now, where like you can find
not at all.
every house, B-roll of scare zones, like compilation videos of everybody. Like it would be cool to get something like that, but like in '85 on a VHS camcorder.
Interesting, not bad, dude. I mean, you're gonna blow out your shoulder, but okay.
Yeah, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Right. Okay. Good answer, dude. Well, thanks, dude. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Of course, brother.
Again, I appreciate your art, dude. You could definitely tell you're passionate about it. And if you put your heart and soul into it, and you're making a difference for people and giving them a distraction or a piece of entertainment for just a moment, then you did your part.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
So that's pretty much it, dude. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Of course, brother. It was an honor. Truly.
Cool. All right, brother. Let's wrap this up and let's get the hell out of here.
All right.
You're listening to the CreepCast. You've once again barely escaped the clutches of the CreepCast with Rick Creeper. Next time, you may not be so lucky. To find out more about the CreepCast and Rick Creeper, follow Rick on Instagram at RickCreeper11. Until next time, be sure to keep that lantern light burning. You never know what could be lurking out there in the dark.